What is up, my fellow andronauts? Let me show you what's actually more important than just 5-alpha reductase. It's the 5-alpha to 5-beta reductase ratio, and I'll show you exactly why that matters. If you want to fast-track DHT optimization, I have a course on how to do that. Link is in the description below if you really want to maximize your DHT fast. Let's dive into this video. So everyone has 5-alpha and 5-beta reductase, and at the end of the day you have a ratio between 5-alpha and 5-beta. And you can see how androstenedione and DHEA is converted into different metabolites. And the reason why this is so important is because 5-beta steroids are either neutral on the androgen receptor or they actually have anti-androgenic effects. Which means that if you have a 1-to-1 ratio or you are more dominant to 5-beta and you have enough DHT, you might experience low androgen symptoms. Because what happens is you have two pools. You have the 5-beta and you have the 5-alpha. Both of these pools compete for the androgen receptor. So let's say your 5-alpha pool is 100. Let's just use 100 as a metric, and your 5-beta is 100. So 100 is high, right? But that does not mean you have good signaling, because both of these compounds, strong, weak, compete for the same receptor. So just by shrinking the 5-beta pool by a matter of competition, you now have stronger signaling on the androgen receptor because you have less competition at the androgen receptor. So this is why this ratio matters so much. So what you can do is you can either make the 5-beta smaller or you can make the 5-alpha larger. And this will give you better signaling on the androgen receptor. So interestingly, testosterone to DHT ratio isn't accurate, but the androsterone to ethiocholanolone ratio is much more accurate. And you can only really see this ratio on a Dutch test. It's this ratio. And so you don't just have DHT, you have a 5-alpha reduced pool, like all of the 5-alpha reduced steroids. So it's a big pool, it's not just the DHT. And so this is why the study found that the testosterone to DHT ratio isn't accurate. So if you have a 10-to-1 testosterone to DHT ratio, so let's say your testosterone is 1,000, your DHT is 100 nanograms per deciliter, that's not even a good metric to show you if you have a good 5-alpha pool, right? So this is why doing a Dutch test is actually quite helpful. So the best way to actually improve this ratio is to use T3, or at least to improve your thyroid function. Your thyroid hormone, T3, dramatically stimulates 5-alpha reductase. So if you want to use nothing else, nothing that I talk about in the Maximize Your DHT course, and you just want to do things naturally, just diet, make sure you eat a diet that maximizes your T3 levels. In this study, they gave this guy T3, and you can see what happened. So this was androsterone. So this was androsterone, and this was this ethiocholanolone. And you can see that it decreased with T3 use and androsterone increased with T3 supplementation. So automatically T3 shrinks the 5-beta and increases the 5-alpha pool, making you a lot more androgenic. This study found, and sorry about the horrible graph here, but this would not be a Hans video without a horrible quality graph. You can see that T3 again, so the black column is androsterone and this more lighter column is the ethiocholanolone. So it dramatically increased androsterone and lowered the other steroid, dramatically improving this ratio, making this guy feel more androgenic. This was the last study where they took elderly individuals. And so here was androsterone, here was the ethiocholanolone. And so T3 0, T3 200 micrograms. So actually, they were giving these guys really high dose of T3. So T3 was given for 4 weeks in increasing doses of 50, 7,500, and 200 micrograms daily, each for 1 week. And so that's a really high dose. I'm not saying you should be doing this. This is just for illustration. And you can see that androsterone in each of these individuals massively increased. This guy was from 7.8 to up to 50.9. This guy was from 14 to 20. This guy was 21 to 27. And you can see this ethiocholanolone decreased. This guy was from 22 to 12, 18 to 12, 25 to 20, 32 to 21, 29 to 16. So it's like big changes in the ratio, right? So androsterone goes up, This acetylcholinolone goes down, you improve the 5-alpha to 5-beta ratio, you have better signaling on the androgen receptor, you feel more androgenic. Here are some tips on how to improve your thyroid function. Consume a nutrient-dense diet, remove harmful foods that are causing oxidative stress or that are containing goitrogens that inhibit thyroid hormone production, and then also remove harmful things from the environment. Like, where are you exposed to mold? Where are you exposed to heavy metals or plastics or any kind of chemical that might have a negative effect on the body? So you want to make sure you clean up your environment, you remove the harmful foods, you consume a nutrient-dense diet. And if you're wondering what would be a nutrient-dense diet, because I found that people don't really know what a nutrient-dense diet is, I have the Testosterone diet layout will show you exactly what to eat, which foods in the exact quantities to fast track replenishing your micronutrients for skyrocketing your thyroid hormone and also your testosterone and DHT and all of the good stuff. Link for that will be in the description. So what do you guys think? Who knew about the 5-alpha to 5-beta ratio, and also who knew it could actually be this easy? I'm my freaking mic off hook up. Just blah. And who knew it would be this easy to optimize your 5-alpha to 5-beta ratio and to feel more androgenic? It's really simple. Just maximize your T3 levels. And if you don't know what the diet should be, Testosterone diet layout blueprint is the one you should get if you want to maximize your DHT, my DHT course. So I would like to hear from you guys. If you've ever had low DHT, started maximizing your thyroid hormone, do you know what happened to your testosterone and DHT? Have you actually tested? If you have, please leave that in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. So I hope you learned something new, and I will check you in the next one. Cheers, guys.